You're listening to an audio article by the Common Constitutionalist. Today's article is entitled, Stop Giving Our Money Away. Ever wonder why it takes multiple trillions of dollars to run the federal government, and why no matter how large the federal budget gets, we never have enough? We all think of waste, fraud, and abuse, but there is another contributing factor. It's death by thousands of cuts. The feds give money away like it's theirs to give. It's not. It's either ours or it's borrowed. Either way, we will be the ones who have to pay it back and pay interest on the massive and ever-growing debt. $1 million is a lot of money to you and me, but to the feds it's almost incalculable. It's like you or me dropping a penny on the street. As it rolls away, would we chase the coin in our want to retrieve it? No, we wouldn't. Very few would do such a thing. It's only a penny after all. It will hardly be missed. But if you start rolling thousands of pennies, it will eventually add up to a sizable amount. Well, it was reported on Monday that the Department of Justice rolled $1 million penny down the street and it ended up in Florida. Quote, the U.S. Department of Justice announced on Monday that it would be awarding $1 million to state and local enforcement in Florida to help with added costs incurred from salary and overtime expenses while responding to the February 14 massacre at the Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida, writes the Blaze. But this is not unique. There are thousands of small transactions just like this that occur all the time under the radar. The only time we ever hear of them is when something like this happens and the feds think they can capitalize on our generosity. Look how considerate we are, giving money away to deserving communities. $1 million here, $20 million there, it all adds up. And as we all recall, quote, 17 people were killed during the attack at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School, and at least 14 others were wounded. The attacker initially escaped the school by trying to blend in with fleeing students, but was later tracked down by authorities and arrested, unquote. The Blades adds that, quote, a news release from the Department of Justice said that this payment will defray some of the costs, which is estimated at several $1 million. More than 18 different agencies were involved in the response, unquote. The $1 million is going to be given to the state of Florida, city of Parkland, and Broward County. So may I ask a question? Just how is Broward County deserving of any money? If anything, they should be billed for all the money spent having to clean up their mess they left behind for shirking their first responder duties. Recall it was the cowardly Broward Sheriff's deputies who stood by and did nothing while the massacre occurred. Now, in contrast, remember the shooting at the Maryland school just last month? Tragically, one person died, but only one person died because a resource officer wasn't afraid to engage the shooter and the coward killed himself. And how much money did Jeff Sessions give to Maryland? Answer, Zippo. That's right, not $1, because the good guy did his job and got the job done immediately. There was no need for lengthy investigations, no manhunt, no 18 different agencies involved, because none was needed. In other words, we taxpayers get to bail out Florida as thanks for the incompetence of the Broward County Sheriff's Office. And the hero cop in Maryland gets jack squat. That's government logic for you. And naturally, of course, there will be little oversight as to just where this million ends up. Rather, we are just supposed to bask in the glow of the government's benevolence and forget that this gift should have been unnecessary. Thank you for listening.